Welcome everyone to another quick live stream. Let's talk AMD AGESA AM5 1004. Yes, it is this BIOS update time again, and all the previous videos my love and actually mostly hate relationship with PC BIOSes continue because I had my fair share of problems, and as a software engineer I in general find this quality rather lacking. So the other day, last month, we burned our time as per usual with all this instability. So long story short, to my surprise, there finally was a new BIOS update. Well, it took a while, like over a month. They don't list here much for my board. Right, I have here a Gigabyte Aorus Masters. Recurrently, most important to check some. Check some, who cares? So recurrently, why do the vendors not properly tell us? So this updated AGESA, I had high hopes because the previous 1003 AGESA was complete unstable for me. I had high hopes, so improved memory compatibility. So this, again, right, so this changelog is not a changelog. It's not worth the 600 euro, give or take, enthusiast stuff. So I flashed that recurring theme, right? And so it is that new, you barely find information on the internet, right? Flashed it obviously, and yeah, more. It continues to be a disappointment, right? So for you, long story short, it is still significantly less stable and less performance than 1002 or 1001 or so, what I had before. I can tell you the precise version that I have here, that is, so for me, F8A, as far as I remember, whatever. I think it was probably in AGESA 1001, as I think I never had a 1002. And so anyway, long story short, there are a couple of new options, but I can't get it. So with, as crazy as it is, with months older BIOS version, I get over 1 gigabyte a second more memory throughput, and way more stable, right? I have no idea what they are doing. So yeah, for you probably it is not worth to touch that. Also, I have only sample size 1. The more you share and subscribe, the more boards I can buy. Maybe hire some people to test this, because I personally cannot burn more time on this. So with my memory, cores, what is it, cores or whatever, actually, is it probably visible on some other, right, on this one it is visible. I have this memory, it's not the most performing memory, or does it not even, don't tell me it doesn't. Yeah, 5600, why does it not print the model name there? Yeah. So with the older AGESA, I can overclock this with 1.3 something volt. I don't really want to try more, to 34, 33, 33, 62 or something. And so this is not stable. So with significant higher clocks, the new AGESA, whether it's 1003 or 1004, is not stable, right? So it is sample size 1. Maybe it is amazing for you, but it would surprise me, right? Because why should it, although, yes, I overclock it and stuff, but why should it, with one set of settings, not be stable with the new version, right? With the same voltages, with the same timing, subtimings, and so on. It makes no sense, right? So I would in general call this buggy. What is new? There is a completely crazy option, continuing the craziness on low quality PC vendors with overpriced gaming stuff. There is now a Performance Bung option. It's like, different boost levels, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 for the target CPU temps, 70, 80, 90 degrees. Users are suggested to choose the one that works fastest. Fastest. For for their specific system. So I guess thank you very much. The help text, I mean, at least there is a help text, so I have no idea. You can choose, there is like a long list. I thought you could select like for different temperatures, different levels, but no, what exactly that does, it looks a little bit superfluous for the general PBO. So other people write here also for an, actually, there is Gigabyte. I'm not sure if ASUS has this too, but like Performance Bung, it's like you can't make this nonsense up. Changes settings within PBO. You can select target temp 70, 80, 90, and the level determines all core negative, L110, L220. So whether that works additionally, I have no idea, right? So it sounds a little bit like from other people, like yeah, YOLO, whatever. Does it affect this? And that is a problem, right? With all the auto and bung, random bung bullshit. Does it work additionally to your manual PBO? Does it work instead? This new BIOS is so unstable, I thought I make like a pretty graph, but given the instability, I mean, there is like 9 or whatever, like there's C70, 80, 90, and then L1's like, there's like 9 or 16 or so settings. Would be a little bit annoying to reboot with all this stuff, but it does not appear to me on a first glance that this has any significant effect. Then, at first I couldn't find the memory voltages because I was looking there for advanced memory voltage things. So they moved it here to the main menu in much less detailed form. So yeah, it is straight here, DDR, VDQ voltage here. It's like, yeah, you lose a tiny little bit of settings there. It's like, yeah, there it is. There's also one more setting in the memory subtimings. You now have, I think TREF is new. First I thought like 10,000 whatever it's going on there, until I realized all the previous BIOSes didn't have that. So this TREF, it's the first time I see that here. And one other option I found by pure chance is, I didn't make a photo, somewhere in the settings there, settings CPU or something, there is now sr-iov, single root sr-iov or so, single root IO virtualization, sr-iov or so. So yeah, that option I believe is new. I didn't see that previously. But given that the performance suffers, right? I had this previously. So today I only tested that for like 2 hours. So it's basically a 2-hour summary. Yes, there are some new options, including Performance Bung. Potentially sr-iov for your IOMMU stuff. But I have to say for this board, I'm not using IOMMU yet because this always has been unstable, right? It causes issues with booting Linux. Maybe it works on Windows. I've seen a VIR of all VRCHA1 prototype, previous video, there am I more, yes, I own a VRCHA Core prototype on my channel, more review coming soon. This 2-year prototype BIOS has a setting for IOMMU, Windows and Linux. So it is possible that the IOMMU just doesn't have all the professional Unix details in there. But yeah, but given so I didn't test that right. A month ago I wasted probably 2 days of trying to get this stable, and known that the previous AGESA already was unusable for me. I today didn't even spend all the time on this, very even as the here. So yeah, 1 0. So yeah, I have some of what do I have 7F. So yeah, F8A, that's most likely 1001 patch AD, whatever. So I didn't spend much time on this. It remains on a first test as unstable as the previous ones. What's those vendors? So whether it is AMD's fault, I don't know. If you work at, probably from all my videos and low-level stuff and running a whole freaking Linux distribution, right? you probably guessed, and doing this for 25 years and working on the kernel, that I have quite some knowledge. So if you work at AMD and a Gigabyte, I'm actually interesting to get this the most amazing, right? And I actually set new records with all my T2 Linux optimizations. So I'm now reaching a nearly 2400 single and I'm now over 26,000 Geekbench multi-score on this particular system, but only with the older BIOS, right? I still enjoy the system, except I wish IO memory would work. Otherwise, it's pretty amazing and epic thread ripping. And that is my kinda primary development workstation right now. And the performance is amazing, just the BIOS quality is not right. I kinda am even an AMD fanboy, but I have to bring you the news. This AGESA BIOS stuff sucks. My personal impression is a little bit, I'm guessing it's not AMD's fault. I would guess AMD is doing an amazing quality assurance and development stuff there. From my experience, it's probably more likely the PC vendor BIOS fault, because my impression is that Gigabyte, ASUS, previously, right, it's not only Gigabyte, the last 2 generations I had X470 and X570 from ASUS. I intentionally tried Gigabyte to get your wider sample size, and I said previously, my impression so far is Gigabyte BIOSes have even lower quality than ASUS quality was already bad. From previous decade-old PC building experience, I don't have high hopes for MSI. My impression is that the BIOS vendors just randomly fiddle around there with performance bung and stuff, and other overclocking tweaks instead of delivering a really rock solid system, right? It's my impression is they are after like the Dragstar race overclocking gaming quick YouTube benchmark stuff, but not professional everyday high performance work. So yeah, that is it. It is a set state. All the other random BIOS quirks, right? Previous video I will not recollect here. 30 minutes of low quality BIOS options and random bullshit run here. I'm still totally not impressed by the lack of quality, and the performance speaks for himself, right? So this is comparing, it's even comparing apples to oranges, right? So this is BIOS. Unfortunately, Geekbench didn't print it there, I believe. That should be F8A versus F8H. And this is comparing apples with oranges in the way that this F8A is rock solid and stable. I've run this for like uptime 7 days, epic thread ripping, cross-compiling 31 Linux architectures. So it's comparing lower instable performance, right? So this newer AGESA, the barely reaching Geekbench score of 24,500, that is instable, right? This is like, I was lucky that it didn't crash. Like often it crashes, so this is way worse memory subtiming. This is like barely working, like one test out of a handful finally running. So like even if it's not even stable, it is 7% slower. It is crazy, right? So yeah, just leave in the comments below. Are you on AM5? What are your findings? Is this a Gigabyte thing? But it should also not be it, right? It's a 600, although they now went down with the price a little bit, $500 something or euro enthusiast platform stuff. I said this before, for like a 99 no-name board from Hong Kong. Also, yeah. But for the latest and greatest gaming enthusiast high performance stuff, I would expect a little bit more attention to detail, due diligence, quality assurance, and stable delivery. And the platform can perform, right? If I wouldn't have the previous knowledge of the older BIOS is rock stable, and I mean, yes, it is overvolted, the memory, not the CPU is undervolted to achieve this score. I kind of feel I have a golden, pretty performance boost optimizing AMD CPU, right? I would call that. But yet the AGESA, especially surrounding BIOS software quality continues to ruin the party. The vendors are here with their lousy changelog that you can't even call it changelog, and other performance bung, huge question mark of what are they even doing, what are they even trying. And yes, the only, I mean, except the few added options, including sr-iov, and potentially memory ECC if you have memory, ECC memory. But otherwise, and yeah, the main other selling point of this unstable software release is it posts faster. Yes, the new BIOSes for this particular board, they post faster. My impression and belief is they now finally store memory, DDR5 memory training data in the NVRAM, most likely because the post time is from nearly a minute with the old high performance rock solid BIOS to maybe 10 seconds or so. It is significantly noticeable, although I usually don't reboot that often. But I rather take the minute-long DDR5 memory training than storing some quick hacked memory training data that apparently is neither performant nor stable. That basically summarizes the set state of Gigabyte's X670E BIOS updates. I think, all right. Also, other boards, other boards and discussion forums found. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to click there. There's modern stuff. Oh, come on, you can't make this stuff up. Hello, touchpad performance. Where the heck is it now? All I wanted was this changes. Oh, come on, where is it now? Probably here. Can we also zoom in now with? Other summarized as a change. It's also said that we need to rely here. I'm not sure what's going on with zooming and advertising. You can't mix this stuff up. Hello? I mean, you would otherwise call the same, my system is unstable, but okay, fine. I try not to touch this advertisement overloaded and Safari irritating crashing. So other people summarized here of PSP module, AMD firmware, DMCUB, updated system driver entries, same PMU as AGESA 1003 patch 3, newer patch ID. I hope it helps. Anyway, it is set depressive, time wasting. Probably don't update, can't recommend, still can't recommend this. And again, if you work at AMD, Gigabyte Asus and want professional help. Not that I want to get paid for, I just want a freaking stable system. And so the set state is, you could say just don't touch a running system, but the problem is IOMMU does not really fully, it kind of works halfway, but I mean, I would like to use an IOMMU in a way to virtualize my GPU and storage and stuff. And it's like, I can boot Linux, not with some resets and delays, but obviously you can't use half-working IOMMU in production. And theoretically, the previous AGESA already added consumer BIOS memory ECC support. So both things would be nice to have, plus of course, single root, SR, VIO. So, and it would be nice to have if it would be stable, and that's this kind of set stuff, right? You don't, like if you can't update because the new AGESA and BIOS versions are significantly less performant and less stable, then you don't get those new feature deliveries, right? And also, it is crazy that, I mean, thankfully I'm on this Gigabyte board that allows me to downgrade, right? I again, of course, downgraded and flashed the previous system. Do I have this here? Probably still here, so that not making this stuff up, the multiple reboots here today. And as you see here, back to F8A, as I said, and booted F8H a couple of times today. And sure, I can stay on this old version, but I don't get bug fixes and new features, and certainly not the promised improved memory compatibility and performance. And it's also crazy that some other vendors, at times I had this previously, like 2 years ago, other X470 and X570 boards from ASUS locked downgrade, so I couldn't downgrade to the previously better working version. So it's not the first time I have this. I constantly have that with all kinds of X470, X570, X670 BIOSes. So thankfully, and this is also a thing, right? What I called out previously, not allowing downgrades. Thank you very much. The state of this is sad and crazy. Leave me below your findings. Maybe next time, although I don't really want to overspend for the expensive Intel stuff. Maybe just for comparison and sample size stuff, next time I need to get an Intel BIOS. But imagine you spend this money on Threadripper, right, or EPYC, and you, I mean, obviously EPYC server boards probably potentially still have a text kind of BIOS looking thing, which if you get performance and stability probably is a good thing. But imagine you spend that money on a Threadripper, like 5,000 or even 10,000 freaking dollars on whatever 6428 threads and stuff and quad memory channel and all the good stuff. And you have such kind of software quality development, right? I personally didn't have a Threadripper system yet. I'm still saving for that. You probably want to like subscribe if you want to get tests from me for that. But that would be, I mean, this is already a 2,000 euro system, right? Which is kind of affordable for this level of performance. And it is disgusting and a disgrace, in my opinion, that you get this kind of software quality for firmware and BIOS, early CPU initialization and microcode, this random kind of bugginess and random updates of instability and lack of performance. And again, if it would be a 99 euro Intel NUC, but it's a 2,000 euro system, right? Around 800 for the CPU, 600 something for the board, and some probably 600, or in the meantime 500 for the memory and stuff. It adds up, right? And for that, it is not matching the value of the components you brought there and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, leave in the comments below. Probably never touch a running system. I hope you learned something and enjoyed the few changelog I could find here. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Maybe Patreon, YouTube membership, and probably this kind of stuff. Need to New Year resolution. Need to professionalize and AAA edit videos here. So you probably want to share, like, and subscribe on the more random channel there. Probably I should do all this kind of quick random talks and summaries there, and then this year use this YouTube channel for proper videos. So have a good day and night. Hope you learned something, and see you soon for the next videos to come.